Hello, thank you very much for joining us this morning. My name is Katie Bull. I'm a Second Harvest Heartland account specialist, and here with me is Katie Carlson, our agency services representative. So thank you for joining us this morning to just get a quick update on how things are going with produce. We wanted to do these quick webinar updates just to talk about some of the things that we're noticing on our end and then get some feedback as we go through this season. So as you probably noticed, we have these set up for September and October as well, so you can feel free to join us for whatever works for you. When you signed up on GoToWebinar, you actually signed up for all 3 sessions, so you don't have to register again. So just a few quick things before we get started. I think most of you have been on webinars with us before, but I just wanted to let you know a couple ways that you can answer or ask questions. Your lines are muted, but I can unmute them from my end if you want to ask any questions out loud. You can click the little hand icon on your control bar and that will raise your hand, and then I'll know to unmute your line. You can also chat in questions in the questions box on your control panel, so feel free to chat in any questions that you have as they come up, and we may just wait till the end to answer them depending on if we're planning on covering more information on that. But we will have some time at the end to specifically have time for your feedback and questions, and so know that you will have an opportunity to share your thoughts after we've gone through some of this information. So this is just a brief agenda for our time, our brief time together today. And so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Katie Carlson to tell you a little bit more, give you a quality update on some of the potatoes that you may have been noticing.
Good morning, everyone. So I'll give you a quick update on some potato issues that you may or may not have noticed in your last produce drop orders. There have been multiple complaints about some quality issues with potatoes. We are obviously aware of the problem, and we believe that that should be coming to an end shortly. We were still getting 2015 potatoes from the farmers, so that's last year's crop of potatoes. Starting at the end of last week, we actually started getting in this year's crop of potatoes. So we anticipate those quality issues to decrease significantly starting even today and going forward for the rest of produce season. So that is a little bit of why you may have seen some poor quality potatoes. Like I said, we expect that to minimize significantly, but as always with produce, if you are noticing quality issues, always let the agency service desk know about those so we can check into those issues.
Great, thanks, Katie. So moving on, we want to talk a little bit about double stacked pallets. You should have all received an email that talked about double stacked pallets. And first of all, I do want to just clarify that it is still our commitment to keep pallets under 5.5 feet for you when they're actually when you're having to downstack them. But I did want to just go over some of the information that was shared and let you know what our current procedure is. So some information that may help you understand this, as it definitely helped me understand better, is that our routing software actually puts together our trucks based on cubic space. It's the full footage inside of the truck, and so it's trying to use all of the space, both the floor of the truck, but also the height of the truck as efficiently as possible. And to keep our fees down and the delivery fees that you pay for, it's necessary that we do have to ask you to do some down stacking of those pallets that are below 5.5 feet. You may have noticed specifically with produce, these are things like maybe 2.5 foot totes where there's one on top of another. Like I said, it's our practice not to exceed pallet height of 5.5 feet, but you may, your truck may come with pallets stacked higher than that, and your driver will help with down stacking that. Okay, and then, yes, so the driver will help with that. So if you have any questions about that or you have any issues, we definitely want to hear about this. We also, if this procedure is not working for you, we want to hear that back from you as well. what is helpful to know if you are having issues is how often is this happening? So is it happening on every delivery of produce you're getting, or is it only happening, has it only happened once in the season? So the frequency is very important. What's different from past deliveries? So how was the way we were doing this previously better for you, and what has changed that is making it harder, if there has been any change? And then how are you typically downstacking any totes or pallets that are under that 5.5 feet? So if you have a pallet that comes 5.5 feet, but obviously you're trying to get product off the top, it might be a separate type of product. Are you using step ladders? How are you going about doing that? And again, just any feedback that you have, please pass on to your agency relations account specialist. Okay. So the next thing we wanted to cover was just some information about our mixing center. And you may have heard a little bit of information about this or seen something on the Agency Express list as well. To give a little bit of a background, Second Harvest Heartland is now part of what is called a Produce Capture Institute. It's a network of 10 food banks across the country, and they're working together to source and distribute those excess agricultural products, so the fruits and vegetables that we're seeing. The reasoning behind this is because obviously here in Minnesota, we have a short growing season in which we have a lot of produce. And so if we can work with places that are around the country, it means a couple things. It means we can get different types of produce that aren't available through, in Minnesota or in our region, but it also means that we can send some of those surplus, corn and potatoes and everything that we have so much of during our growing season, that can be shared with regions of the country that don't necessarily grow those types of crops. So I'm going to turn it back to Katie to talk with you a little bit more about what you're going to see on Agency Express.
Yep, so the produce that you see from the Mixing Center on Agency Express is different from produce that you've seen in the past and is different from produce that would be on your produce drop or your subscription produce. First of all, you may see things that you've never seen before, things like cased oranges or different kinds of stone fruits that are being sourced by the Produce Capture Institute. And this is to provide you with more options for you and then more options for your clients. So these types of items would not be included on the case counted subscription if you have opted into that. And that's because there's a much higher shared maintenance fee on this type of produce, usually between 16 to 25 cents per pound. And this is due to the need to transport them from other parts of the country. To get them here quickly, we need to offer a quick turnaround on these. Obviously, produce is highly perishable. So those items will also have a deliver by date on them, and we do stick to those dates very closely, and that's so that we're sending you the highest quality produce that we can. So do order those within the delivery windows. We won't be sending them out after that.
Okay, great. So at this point, we will go ahead and open it up to any questions that you may have, anything that people have been wondering about, or questions about anything that we just covered in this quick overview here. So as I said, feel free to click the hand icon and I can unmute your line. You can ask a question out loud, or you can just use that questions box to type in any questions that you might have. So we'll give you a moment here to go ahead and do that. Well, I guess if nobody has any questions, we will just let you continue to follow up with your account specialist should there be anything that you do have questions about. And as always, our full staff is here to help answer questions or, help deal with any issues that you're seeing around your produce or your produce delivery. So please continue to keep us informed, and we will continue to keep you informed as we have additional information or anything else. Oh, this is a good question, actually. So question about produce and keeping things outside. So for quality, that's going to be a different, so if you're doing outside produce drops, which a lot of people do, your produce might suffer a little bit being in some of those higher temperatures. As far as food safety, the items that need to be refrigerated or have freezer blankets on them are items, anything that's pre-cut, so anything that would come packaged and pre-cut, celery or onions, something like that. So it's really going to be more of the things that you're getting from Walmart and the Food Rescue if you're getting any of those items as well. I would definitely recommend having some freezer blankets available so that you can cover the produce if it's out in the heat, and then also if you're able to have any tents, that's very helpful as far as keeping that produce a little bit cooler. Thank you for the question. All right, and we will go ahead and let everybody continue on with their day here. So feel free to contact your account specialist if there's anything that we can do for you or if you have any questions. And we look forward to continuing on this produce season with you. Thank you.